Hi, welcome. Today I'm going to be working on a commission piece. It's another blank sketchbook cover. This one's featuring Darth Vader dead. So the end of the Return of the Jedi movie, when they finally finish off the dark side and defeat the Empire, Darth Vader is burned. His suit is burned. I don't know what's really left of him at that point, but anyway, it's another blank sketchbook cover, and I did a light pencil sketch, and we're just gonna fly through this and show you I'm working with the copic markers here again. And actually at this point I start to fill one of the markers, and that's kind of an interesting thing to talk about. One of the reasons that a lot of artists like copic markers, and I use copic markers, is that they're expensive but they're refillable. So if you buy refillable ink containers, you can basically just open both ends of the marker and just drop the new fluid into it and replenish your marker, so you don't have to throw out your old marker and buy a new one. So I think they're somewhere in the area of like $6 a marker, and then you can get the refills and work with them for a while. So basically with these markers, what I've started doing, I used to actually draw things out with ink, and then I would go in with the color. But what I started to do recently was build the tones first on the pencil sketch. So you can see I've got sort of like a map, a mapped in drawing with pencil, and then I'm going in with the markers. I'm using various shades, and that's another thing that I like working with, that I like about copic markers, is that or copic, I don't know why you call them copic, is that they're different tones. So you can use a really light one, and then you can build up in saturation and darkness, and you want to work from light to dark when you work with these markers. And I'm leaving a lot of negative space here with the whites, because you can never really get back to like a super white area if you work back. If you try to like darken the whole thing and then you try to work backwards from there, usually it doesn't work out. So you want to try to work in layers, and again, you want to work from light to dark. You can't really put light over dark with these. They're not opaque, they're very transparent markers. And here I'm sort of flying around there with some light pink colors in the flames, and especially working with fire. I think working with fire and heat and flames and that sort of thing, it's definitely a layering process, because you want it to look convincing in the end. And here I'm going in with some really dark colors, so I think I'm actually using the black marker. It's a pretty deep black color. It's probably not as dark as like India ink, but it's pretty close. And I'm just putting in some of that contrast. You're really starting to see things take form here as the contrast is being built up. Going back in here with some brown tones, some really warm tones. And I would say this one I took probably to about 90% completion with the markers. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll combine the markers with Prismacolor pencils. Here I'm using a pen, an ink pen, Le Pen, the pen if you're French or not. So I'm just putting in a couple of the tighter details, and in here I'm texturing the surface of the wood, just putting like a little bit of hatch lines in there and stuff, so when you get up really close to this thing, it has some nice detail going on. And then I'm coming in with the Prismacolor pencils here. I'm using Prismacolor Premier pencils, and again, you could check out my previous video for that technique of when I was myth busting the idea of baking the pencils to make them not break when you sharpen them, and that's tended to work out pretty well. All the pencils that I've sharpened since I baked them have not broken. So here you kind of missed a little bit with the camera, but I'm going in with some really bright saturated Prismacolor pencils. And now I'm going in with my Pro White. And Pro White is something that was suggested to me by one of my artist friends who works at an art store, and he said this Pro White stuff is a really nice opaque liquid cover-up. It's almost like a whiteout, but it's really nice, really opaque, and it dries really fast. So you can get those little, bright little spots. that I put in there. You know, the little sparks from the fire, or whatever you want to call that. And here I'm just kind of going in and tightening up the flames. And this is the finished piece. So that's Vader getting toasted there. Appreciate you stopping in. Thanks for watching again, and feel free to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Like, there's like a little button that they put on the laptop or something, and then they say click it, and then you can never even miss a video.
That's if you subscribe.